Plus Ultra!
Today we are talking about Overhaul Part 1.
As manga readers, we are very excited about this particular chain of events, so without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. So we started out seeing our boy Sun Eater.
Oh, so good!
Of the big three.
Oh my god.
It's nice to see a character get their own juicy-filled episode.
And it's technically the first big three fight we've seen.
Absolutely.
For someone who is like just so scared and just always behind, it's so nice that he gets to shine.
Yeah,
he's the sun.
This dynamic they said. I mean, obviously, having a hero named Sun Eater, at least to us as a Western audience, we're kind of like, that's an interesting like, he eats the light. But like seeing that, his Mirio is Lumillion, 1,000 like lights. Yeah. It becomes that thing of like, okay, so like it's all like this character is all about his relationship with Mirio, and we see that in this fight.
Exactly, it's a very good twist. His whole, like, personality and his dynamic, it's a very good twist on sort of the dark, edgy hero, where it's like, yeah, we're not all straight-up ninjas like Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Like, some of us just have a lot of feelings, and we're trying to work through them.
Hey, confidence is hard, okay?
Exactly, but he's got the power, and again, such a cool animated fight. We got techniques, it got to take 3-on-1. I loved the whipping tentacles, the vast chimera.
Him mirroring, the chimera mirroring what we just saw Red Riot go through as like a double transformation, that going Super Saiyan, that going unbreakable. We're like, okay, so like this is the parable of, this is the big three character that's also had to do that same thing where he's had to hybridize and expand his power another level up.
Yeah, and that just goes into the character design a lot more, because we've been talking a lot about it, but the different types of animals, it's just so confusing, right? Like, and he can do anything, so it really does showcase how unsure he is. But the fact that he even got this far, like they have a lot of good examples, especially in the next episode where they're talking about how he finished last at the sports festival. He's never really sure of himself. So for him to even get 3 guys at the start who are pretty strong.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For trash, their bonds are very strong.
We stand for trash.
I love the stealing guy, because in the manga it didn't read quite as well, them just
it was just kind of like, okay.
But him catching it was really cool. Like, I also like the tension of the cops, like, we can't use our guns against him.
Yeah, and even that good build-up moment they did of Aizawa being, Eraser just being like, Sun Eater realizing that Eraser took him out because he knew that, like, 3 chess moves ahead that, like, that was going to be the problem for Sun Eater. It also elevates the team around him, obviously. Fat Gum saying that he trusts Sun Eater, too. That also does that thing, we've heard that Sun Eater is a big three. We see this trust that Fat Gum puts in them. And even though he, fails at something we would call maybe trivial, like the sports festival, he really is able to take 3 guys down. And it's very technical on paper, just kind of like, okay, he's a very powerful hero.
Yeah, and after seeing that, I remember we start the next episode and he goes down, and it's very conclusive, it's good, because it's like, no, these heroes are going into a tense situation. They're going to lose people.
Yeah.
As far as
they're going in blindly. And I think with starting off with Sun Eater, I think Sun Eater said it himself is like, no, these pros need to save their energy, but it's great for us to see that these underclassmen are very powerful. Like just Sun Eater alone, he's like, I can take out 3. You pros handle what's more important.
We get a similar thing when we see the scene of Kirishima
and Deku
kicking through the wall for them, and it's like, really nobody else in that group of pro heroes could have handled that situation.
Rock was literally like, how do we go? And Deku and Kirishima look at each other like, we got this.
Rock's like, I'm glad we got the kids doing the grunt work. I don't want to bust through any walls, I got that bum shoulder. Oh,
I got a lot to come up.
So then we get into a really good fight on...
and just segueing into that, we see that great scene of this moment that we see in different characters throughout My Hero Academia through the series. Kirishima jumps in without thinking to help save Eraser, right?
Which again, we prove that these are true heroes.
This is what true heroes do.
We talked about in previous episodes, like, no, this is why I mean, literally in this season, this is why we're mainly focusing on these heroes, because they're like, no, they'll literally jump into action without thinking.
And besides Kirishima doing it, I just do also want to point out quickly, like, Fat Gum also does
it.
Yes,
and that's the thing, and that's what puts them together in the same group. Again, Fat Gum is very impulsive. The guy, Sun Eater, who works at his agency, is the first to go down, first to fight, though. First to be like, no, I got these guys. And then Kirishima and him both are first to save Aizawa, who is definitely, clearly, the key to getting through this, maze. I mean, Deku can, help, but at the end of the day, like, they need to lock down this guy's quirk if they're gonna get anywhere.
I love how, like, surprised Fat Gum was just like, Karishma, what are you doing here? And it's like, buddy, I did the same thing too.
Yeah,
like,
you trained me! Father.
We worked together!
And that creates such a good little triangle of characters. You know, we have Sun Eater, Karishma, and Fat Gum, and they're such a unique parable, because they are very similar to kind of, I would say, like, the Bakugo, Deku, and All Might kind of, like, triumvirate we have. But because they're different, we get to see a lot of different elements of Hero.
Yeah, and we see a lot of Hero elements when we get this deep underground street fight. When we get this MMA combat, man, Rappa is such a fun character.
Oh, I love
Rappa
him.
is he's one of those unleashed characters where it's like, oh, are we going to have a character this simple? Yeah, we're going to have a character this simple. And it's going to work because he's just like, you guys are all great. I'm here for a good time. Not a long time. I'm just here to punch,
Like, he doesn't really follow orders, but he's just like, no, I want to fight to the death. And I love how he was just like, yeah, Karishma's down. I'll take him to the first aid because I want to keep fighting this kid.
No, the whole thing, he is, to the start to the finish, Rappa's there for a good time. And with the shield thing, too, I love how they had that dynamic where they've got the mentor being like, no, I'm here to make sure we win, even though we got a crazy character. But even throughout that, you know, like, we still... You know, sometimes you get the dynamic where the crazy character just overpowers him. And he tried to, and that's what's interesting, right? He tried to punch the shield guy and be like, no, I want to do things my way. And the shield guy's like, no, I'm going to help. I'm here to help. And
That's
even
why I'm here.
And even Fat Gum's like, no, I mean, he's crazy, but we're going to have to deal with both of them. So then they're going to have to store up this ultimate spear, and they're going to need Karishima's help. And then we get...
But before that even happens, though, I mean, we see Karishima broken. Like,
oh
unbreakable.
my god, poor baby.
This level 2, this My Hero Academia Super Saiyan is just smashed away in the first moment of the fight.
Huge roll smash.
Seeing his arms, like, broken, the pieces
red.
broken out, and the red underneath... Ouch.
Yeah.
Like, just ouch.
That was painful. And then we get his great backstory, though. I mean,
I will say, with these few episodes, I love that we're getting so much flashbacks and, like, going more into depth with these characters.
It's so rare that we like the flashbacks that we get in a fight.
Yeah.
Right? But this really, again, you know, set up the moment, and it's exploring these characters that were like, oh, we're getting flashbacks of some of the other students?
Yeah,
like,
timing.
This hasn't happened in 4 seasons of anime.
Exactly.
Nice, you know,
also,
like,
one of the best moments, I mean, we get all of the personal growth that Karishima had to go through to become Red Wyatt, or become his idealized version. But my favorite sort of, like, Mina is obviously my favorite part of all this.
That's why I like it, because my girl Mina's in it, but whatever.
The fact that she convinces people through the art of breakdancing, like, she's so great.
And she also, again, does that hero checkmark thing if she runs into danger without thinking, and again, like...
I lied and I told him that he went to the police.
Yeah, I know, she got one over on him. Like, that was the thing where she was like, oh, whoops, guess what?
Oh,
but
man.
it's even better, because at the end, when we see the red hair and we see the transformation... And Mina even says, oh, what's with your hair? And you've got horns like me. It's a subtle, like, notice, but the point is, Mina is also an inspiration for Karishima. Karishima was like, no, I was really inspired by you. Like, that's why he's kind of embarrassed, like,
and there's a lot of, like, unique Horikoshi things, like, and we've talked before about Fat Gum's design, where he's got the big yellow, he's got the smile, his eyes are even, like, covered in, like, shadow with the mask he has. And I would say there's even, like, a parable there where Mina's eyes, you know, they're black, you know, like, they're just those tiny eyes showing through, you know, how we look at heroes that we look forward to, even with Sun Eater, the cape, the running forward, the back of Mirio.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of characters looking up and seeing kind of these people they have to work to turn into, and they're inspired by each other.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things we've always liked about My Hero Academia, is it's not just all of these kids looking at All Might and be like, oh my god, I want to be cool like that. It's like, oh my god, look at all these other people struggling to make it as heroes alongside me. Isn't this an interesting and explosive experience? Yeah,
you've got these different character designs influencing different characters, and even Fat Gum, when his hoodie gets blown off and you see that he's blonde, he does look a little bit like All Might, and that's kind of when you kind of understand it.
And he does that punch.
Exactly, that's Karishima's All Might, like, and that other students are going to be inspired by different types of heroes. I mean, All Might is that touchstone, and he is Deku's, like, inspiration, but we are investing in other characters and their sort of, like, desires and how their personalities fit other heroes better, etc., etc. Just like how Rappa, after the fight, he was inspired by Red Riot because it is so refreshing. He's like, no, that's my character type too. You know, they're all there in the bandage room, and he's like, yeah, man, I love this kid, and I'm gonna spill the beans on everything because Yeah, it's the organization itself is turning out to be pretty seedy. We go forward and we get the mimicry guy, the wall guy, and he's been causing havoc the whole time. Love the effect. I love how they did it.
This is literally what I was hoping for. Like, after reading the manga, I was just like, oh, this is cool, but seeing it animated.
It was, well, the
This is
scene
where all the money
that did it the
went
best,
to.
it was back in the Sun Hero episode when it first happened, but they had everybody moving, and having different heroes, even the pro heroes, like, moving up and down, that just really speaks to, like, no, we're doing a hard shuffle here.
Yeah.
I mean, in a classic shonen sort of design, normally what happens is, you know, you got the chess war thing, right? Like, one group against another.
You separate the team.
Exactly, but this is just, like, really physical jumble, and like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. And then we get the caveat, we get the temp team, we get
Toga and Twice!
And I'm a little interested, so I guess they just wanted to do it a different way, but I remember specifically that Toga's ability and its specifics were kept a little hidden until she literally said it in, like, when she was given to when she was given to Overhaul's team, like, as a temp worker, that's when Twice and her both told the Quirks what they do and how they work to Overhaul. And that was, like, the first time we heard Toga's, like, ability, which was kind of a big deal, at least for me.
I mean, they even throw out the card, and it's just like, it's kind of, no, we don't really know who these, like, villains are.
But yeah, the fact that they just said it on the card was a little dry for me. I guess it's because they wanted to do the fight, and they wanted to immediately explain, and they did a little bounce back, and I guess we don't want to overstay our flashback welcome, right?
I like that we see also Toga like just match Eraser toe to toe.
Yeah.
She stabs another again. It's showing that these League of Villains characters, which we've seen kind of equated with our high school team, our freshman high schooler team, are at that level where they're battling with pros. And I think that also speaks to the power level again when we talk about Kirishima and Deku having to punch through. These Class 1A characters are at that pro level.
Yeah,
of power.
They're strong. No
and they know it too.
Here.
Man, poor Locke, just.
I don't think he's drawn again. When I was reading the manga, I was like, for me, that was Toga's defiant. I'm like, oh no, she killed him. Like, he's dead.
He's fine.
I know he's fine, and he got bandaged up later, but like, for all like effectiveness,
she could have killed him.
She could have killed him.
She knocked him out of the manga. Like, he doesn't come up again. Like, at least I don't remember him, or at least in any like capacity.
Until his power is a MacGuffin, convenient again.
Exactly. So yeah, it was definitely interesting to see her power there, and her stopping, because Eraser wrapped and pulled, and then she stopped the pull midway through and got an attack off. Again, it's a big testament to the strength. And even Twice, who shows up as like, hey, I copied a Yasuko guy, and he got defeated immediately. Wow, you Yasuko guys suck. Like,
he literally constantly says, like, this Yakuza team is useless.
And that gets to them, because it's true.
Yeah.
And then
they got
know.
Pride and chivalry.
Like, literally when Overhaul and whatever his face is carrying Yuri, like, they're walking underneath, and they're just like, this might be the fall for us, like, we know we're not good, and they know this might be the downfall of this
That's why they're betting
organization.
that's why they're betting everything on this sort of like area and this medicine and whatever like product they're making.
Our temp team.
Because they know that there's nothing there. But yeah, we're still all twisted up, and both Awaza and Deku went down the hole, and so did the temp team. So
yeah, and so we're obviously like closer to our confrontation with Overhaul.
Lemillion went ahead.
He's still going.
Our
boy's still going.
That boy's still swinging, phasing through. But yeah, overall, just so much action, and it very, again, efficient, right?
So yeah, I mean, like, exactly. Like, are you? I think all three of us are happy with the adaptation.
Yes, for this being the first part of the Overhaul fight, I'm just like,
we had that slow season build up. I liked a lot of what they were doing. I know also in the manga, I mean, it's pretty disappointing because Horikoshi got sick, and some of those are just sketch pages.
Yeah.
They are.
To see them be able to bring these fights together and make them on that level, like the Fat Gum fight is my favorite fight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In the manga, everything that's been covered so far.
Oh, they gave it that nice little like Rappa's a great opponent again. Again, really, I was waiting for that type of character. And him having that explosive punching capacity is just, it's good.
And it's got everything you want in manga. It's that setup, that payoff, that a character going through a redemption in, like what happened in the beginning of the fight. Hidden power, as well as, again, just a parable back to, like, again, sword and spear, or shield and spear. It's just good to see, like, oh no, this is just a real tight, dynamic fight of what we're going. Like, even the fight we have with Sun Eater, there's kind of a lot of messy stuff going on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's as straightforward a fight so much as it's just kind of like, okay, he, like, finally had to sit down and come up with a plan, and, like, and then it was kind of over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy. Okay?
I'm excited for the rest.
Let us know how you guys are feeling about these fights in the Overhaul arc in the comment below, and we will catch you in the next part.